Days of Our Lives spoilers. April 1st and Wednesday, April 2nd, Kristen's desperate plea, Jada's heartbreaking confession, and Chanel's explosive fury shake Salem to its core. The drama in Salem reaches a fever pitch this week, as longtime fans of Days of Our Lives are in for an emotional roller coaster spanning betrayal, heartbreak, and confrontation. As April begins, the beloved residents of Salem find themselves caught in complicated webs of secrets and tension, with relationships hanging by a thread and tempers about to explode. Tuesday, April 1st, Kristen's shocking move and Jada's honest confession. As Tuesday's episode unfolds, Steve and Marlena are overcome with worry. The normally composed pair are visibly shaken, facing the terrifying possibility that they may never see John again, at least not alive. With each passing hour, their hope dwindles. The weight of uncertainty is almost too much to bear, and fans will see a more vulnerable side of these longtime heroes as they navigate a situation that is spinning wildly out of control. Just as tensions rise, Kristen reaches out to Brady with what appears to be an urgent plea. But Brady has little patience for Kristen's usual manipulations. His thoughts are consumed with John's disappearance and the ripple effect it's having on everyone he loves. Kristen, however, seems more desperate than ever, leading many to wonder, has she actually changed, or is this just another elaborate scheme? Meanwhile, Jada decides it's time to tell the truth. No more running, no more hiding. In a powerful and raw moment, she confesses to Rafe. While her exact words remain to be revealed, all signs point to her finally admitting to sleeping with Sean. The confession hits Rafe like a punch to the gut. After all they've been through, this might be the final blow. Viewers will witness the heartbreak in his eyes as the man who's always tried to do right by everyone finally has to face the painful truth. Sometimes love just isn't enough. Wednesday, April 2nd, Belle's bold scheme, Chanel's fury, and Rafe's pain. By Wednesday, the emotional fallout begins to spread like wildfire across Salem. Belle, never one to sit on the sidelines, launches a secret plan of her own. She's already been quietly working alongside Jada, and now she finds herself teaming up with EJ. Her goal? To get him to confess to something, though what exactly remains under wraps. And yes, she's not above using seduction as a strategy. Belle knows how to play the game, but is she prepared for the consequences? Elsewhere, Chanel is absolutely livid and her anger is laser-focused on EJ. She finally reaches her breaking point and confronts him head-on. The sparks fly as she demands answers about Johnny and the tangled adoption situation and how EJ's self-serving behavior continues to derail everything. For Chanel, who's trying to build a future with Johnny, EJ's antics have become too much to ignore. Her fiery confrontation may just be the wake-up call EJ desperately needs, or it may push him even further down a dark path. And then there's Rafe, still reeling from Jada's confession. He finds himself leaning on Gabby for support. In a rare moment of vulnerability, he opens up to her about everything. The betrayal, the confusion, the heartbreak, it all comes pouring out. Gabby, who's no stranger to complicated relationships herself, listens intently. She tries to ease his pain, reminding him that people make mistakes and that Jada may not have set out to hurt him deliberately. But even her comforting words can't erase the image of Jada and Sean together from Rafe's mind. At the same time, Brady catches up with Belle and the two share a candid conversation about everything that's been going on, EJ, Ava, and the chaos that seems to engulf their lives daily. It's a much-needed moment of connection for both of them, offering a brief respite from the storm swirling around them. Jada, despite the fallout with Rafe, finds herself surrounded by unexpected support. Paulina, ever the fierce mother figure and advocate for second chances, stands by her side. Paulina knows how hard it is to be honest, especially when that truth might shatter lives. She encourages Jada to stay strong and face the consequences head-on, no matter how difficult they may be. The calm before the next storm? As Tuesday and Wednesday's episodes come to a close, the pieces on the chessboard are moving fast. Long-held secrets are being exposed, alliances are shifting, and trust is being tested in every corner of Salem. While some characters are seeking redemption, others are spiraling deeper into their own agendas. Will Steve and Marlena find John before it's too late? Can Rafe ever forgive Jada, or will this mark the end of their relationship for good? Will Chanel's confrontation finally rein in EJ's reckless behavior, or only add fuel to the fire? And what exactly is Belle playing at with EJ? Is she out to uncover the truth, or is she on the verge of being drawn into something far more dangerous? One thing is certain, Salem is on the brink of yet another wave of drama and no one is safe from its ripple effects. Stay tuned because the next few episodes are sure to be filled with the kind of passion, betrayal, and shocking twists that Days of Our Lives fans have come to love over the decades. Next, Monday's episode of Days of Our Lives unfolded with a charged intensity that set the tone for what could be a seismic shift in Salem's power dynamics. The DeMoras may have built their legacy on manipulation and secrecy, but EJ may soon find that his past sins are finally catching up to him, and the reckoning might come from the last person he ever expected, Belle Brady. In a quiet moment outside Belle's apartment, the air was heavy with unspoken tension as Jada Hunter and Belle found themselves face to face. Two women whose lives had recently become entangled in a web of secrets, betrayal, and painful choices. The door between them wasn't just physical, it symbolized the emotional barrier still standing between Belle's conflicted heart and Jada's relentless pursuit of justice. But the real shock came earlier that day when Jada walked into the Salem Police Department and asked for something that would set the day's events in motion, a confidential file. She approached Sean Douglas Brady, her former flame and someone who had more reason than most to question her motives. Their recent romantic entanglement still lingered in the air like smoke after a fire, and though Sean greeted her warmly and congratulated her on her reinstatement, there was a guardedness in his posture, a hesitation in his tone. "Thank you," she told him simply, her words laced with underlying tension. She attempted to cut through the awkwardness by reassuring him that they were still friends, that nothing had changed. But it had. They both knew it. And though they agreed to move on, neither could ignore the truth. What happened between them would always be there, just beneath the surface. "Rafe doesn't know," Sean said quietly, and the pain in his voice was unmistakable. "And he never will." Jada didn't respond right away. Instead, she gave a soft nod, accepting the consequences of choices that couldn't be undone. Still, she pressed forward because she had something bigger in mind. A second chance. One more shot to take down EJ DeMera, the man who had upended so many lives with his deceit and ambition. She needed help, and there was only one person who could provide it. Across town, Belle stood in her apartment, gazing down at her phone. A message from EJ lit up the screen. "I miss you." Her expression turned instantly to one of disgust. Whatever feelings she once had for EJ had curdled into resentment. His charm, once alluring, now felt suffocating and manipulative. The last thing Belle wanted was another reminder of the chaos he brought into her life. But before she could delete the message, there was a knock at the door. Belle opened it to find Jada standing there, looking more determined than ever. What followed was a confrontation not of hostility, but of purpose. A meeting of two women, both burned by the same man, now standing at a crossroads between caution and courage. Jada wasted no time. "I need your help," she said simply. "It's time to bring EJ down. For good." Belle, caught off guard, blinked. "You think I can help you do that?" "I know you can," Jada replied. "You know him. He trusts you. Or at least he thinks he does." But Belle recoiled. "Everyone knows what happened," she said bitterly. "You made sure of that. I can't be the one to go after EJ. Not anymore." "I get it," Jada said quietly. "But that man has destroyed lives. Rafe's. Yours. Mine. How many more people have to suffer before someone stands up and stops him?" Belle looked away, clearly struggling. The wounds EJ left on her life were still fresh, too fresh. But Jada wasn't finished. "What if you wore a wire?" she asked, her voice hushed but intense. "Just one conversation. One chance to catch him saying the wrong thing. He'll never suspect you." Belle's eyes widened. "You want me to lie to him? Pretend I still care?" "You wouldn't be lying," Jada said, her tone resolute. "You'd be acting. For justice. For all of us." For a long moment, Belle was silent. Her eyes drifted back to her phone. EJ's text still glowed on the screen, like a ghost from her past refusing to go quietly. "Maybe," she whispered, "maybe I could make him believe I want him back." The seed of doubt was already beginning to take root, but Jada didn't push. Instead, she delivered a passionate speech that reminded Belle, and all of us watching, what Days of Our Lives has always been about at its core: the struggle between what's right and what's easy. "This isn't just about EJ," Jada said. "It's about justice, about standing up for the people we love, about the law actually meaning something in this town. If we don't stop him now, who will?" Belle felt the weight of those words. She wasn't just a lawyer, or a daughter, or a heartbroken woman trying to put the pieces of her life back together. She was also someone who had the power to do the right thing, even if it meant stepping back into the lion's den. Finally, she met Jada's gaze. "Fine," she said. "If this is what it takes to put that bastard behind bars, then I'll do it." In that moment, Belle made her choice. Not for revenge, not for closure, but for justice. As Monday's episode drew to a close, it was clear that the war against E.J. DiMera was no longer being fought in boardrooms or bedrooms. It had entered the shadows, where deception and truth now go hand in hand. With Belle preparing to go undercover, the stakes in Salem have never been higher. One false move, and she could lose everything. But if she succeeds, she might just bring down the most dangerous man in town. And E.J.? He has no idea what's coming.